Hey everybody, how's it going? What you're looking at here is a model that I did not make. I had this made up for me. Commissioned it basically, and I'm very happy with it. I asked the guy who did it if I could do a little review on it, or my best attempts at a review. He agreed, which is why I'm doing it. I would have showed you the model regardless, not because I'm a jerk, but it's because I think it's worth showing off. And I wouldn't have gone, like, I'll tell you a little bit more about, I would give more information on it now than if he said he would rather not have it reviewed, so to speak. Like, if it wasn't going to be reviewed, I'd show it to you, say I had it made for me, and tell you that I'm happy with it and point out spots and all that I really like. But now I'll go a little more in depth. So first and foremost, before I show you the model, I'm going to show you a piece of artwork. Page 37, Dark Angels Codex. This is a Chaplain and Interrogator Chaplain entry. And this is the artwork that basically was used to make that model. The model is inspired by this artwork. I contacted From the Warp and Ron from the Warp for this work. He does commission work on the side. I don't know if it's on the side or if it's kind of like more than that. But I've seen examples of his work, very well done work in the past, and I figured I'd contact and see if he'd be willing to take on commission work now. I didn't know if he was going to be too busy or not, so I figured I'd ask. And obviously we have it here, so he was able to. Very nice and very easy to work with. I guess work with isn't the proper term because I didn't really do anything, but you get what I mean. Very nice. And pretty much what you do is, or I did, was I contacted him, asked him if he'd be interested in taking on the commission, and a little blurb about what I wanted to do, or have done, I should say. Then he responded back, agreeing, asking for more information. Then I gave him information in terms of the page, and the page for the artwork and stuff like that. He told me how viable it was, which was viable, and said what we can do to make a model inspired upon it, or by it. And then run down with bits and costs, and if I would still like to do it. I agreed, and I paid up. I put on a down payment, I guess you call it, on it. He did work, showing me work in progress throughout. And then when it was done, he showed me a picture of it. If I liked what was finalized, or if I liked it, he'd finalize it, tell me the balance I owed. I pay it, he ships it out. Very easy. And I have to say, he did great work. I had no problems with this model at all. I didn't have to ask for any minor changes or anything. Very well done. So if you're wondering why a chaplain, excuse me, I had to clear my throat, it's because they're my favorite HQ choice. For Space Marines, at least. I like their rules, I like their look, their fluff. Pretty much everything about them. I like Interrogator Chaplains from the Dark Angels because they're that and more. And that's what this guy represents, an Interrogator Chaplain. So, here he is basically. I'll give him a little spin around and go into more detail on what he's got on him and everything. Just kind of reviewing the model. Obviously I'm happy with it. Well, I guess I shouldn't be obviously. I am happy with it though. Very happy with it. So here he is. A little 360 there. There's a lot of detail on this guy, but at the same time, I don't want to say, I guess it's kind of subtle, and at the same time, it's not a lot, if that makes sense. We got the tattering robe effect here with some chipping off of the plastic to make it look tattered and cut up and beat up, which I like as part of the artwork. Then on the model itself, well, I guess it is the model itself. Then trying to find something I can point with. Then on the robes, up on the robes, we got holster and some scroll cases. We got a skull with some green stuff work to make it fit on this hook here that's attached to the rope around him. Then we got the purity seal and the parchment, a long strip of parchment. Then we got a green stuff attachment for this chain with another skull on it. Nice detail there. We have this little green stuff bit on the bottom of this Crolius Arcanum bit. Pretty much, if that wasn't there, I wouldn't be complaining about it. I wouldn't even have noticed, really. But the fact that it's there kind of ties, I want to say ties it all together, but it just adds to the model that otherwise, I wouldn't say it'd be lacking because I wouldn't really notice it, but it is a nice touch, a nice little detail touch there. It's a little more techy. This is a Dark Angel icon bit. Then we have green stuff. I can't really get a good angle on it with the lighting. Right here for the armor ribbing to make the joint a better joint. For the skull, he did some green stuff work, obviously where the green stuff is, but make it look kind of more helmet-like with tubing and green stuff work. And he had to do some work to the neck area, the gorget, I guess, because, well, not because, just to make the helmet look and fit better. So that's a nice bit of work right there too, very nice, and it's not crazy elaborate or ornate, but it definitely looks very nice. We got the halo, which is a double-headed eagle bit, and then some plastic art around it with some green stuff on top of it to add some, I guess, dimension. Be the word I'm looking for, I guess. It's regular veteran's backpack with skull from the Dark Angels veteran kit. Nothing added there. And one of my favorite parts is this banded shoulder pad with the armor bands over it. I really like that look from the artwork, and I'm glad it was able to be incorporated. So that's a little run around of all the parts of it. A very nice looking model. I'm very happy with it. I don't know how big into the commission work Ron is, as far as if he's utilizing that as a source of income. Maybe not a main source, but a source of income nonetheless. I don't know. I don't know if it's something he likes to do on the side and generate some money out of it. So I don't want to say contact him for your commission work, because I don't want to all of a sudden have, let's say, 5 people contact him the next day or whatever. But I would say it's definitely worth a shot. I don't want to inundate him with work, especially if it's not his main thing. But I'm very happy with my results, and I would do it again if I ever had to. Or wanted to, I should say. Because he does great work. The base also is just, I don't know if you could tell, the white part has some, like, I don't want to call it brickwork, but it's got some type of texture there, like tile texture almost. You can kind of see in the shadows right there. And my lighting is weird. You just have to deal with it, I guess. And then some sand, gravel, and whatnot, and some green stuff. And I don't know if I showed you right. I think he's pinned. I don't know if these are exactly the pins, but I imagine it's kind of where he goes in. He's pinned to the base anyway for added security. So yeah, he asked me what type of basing I'm doing for my army, which is a nice question to be asked, because and most, I'm not gonna say nobody else does that, but I would imagine most commission places you contact will ask you about the base to make it fit in with your army. And I'm doing, or will be especially doing, once I revamp the Dark Angels a lot, when I'm done with my Deathwing heresy, is rubble, urban rubble. So that's what this is supposed to be, is a rubble base. Once it's painted up, it'll look very much like that. The reason why it's not like crazy looking base is because A, you don't want that clutter of a base, and B, these plastic robe models, and any of the robe models from Games Workshop for that matter, for the Space Marines, tend to need a flat surface to sit on without looking awkward. It's just the way they are. So that's one other reason. But yeah, as far as painting the model, I have quite a task ahead of me. I am not used to painting a full model. And this is a full model with bells and whistles and everything. I paint my models in stages, like in parts, and I put the parts together. So it's going to be very different for me. It'll be a challenge, but it'll be a fun challenge. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with this banded shoulder pad. In the artwork, it's black and white, yes. But in that coloring of the black and white, his banding looks to be essentially the same color as his armor. The main part of his armor, which would be like a black, or at least a dark metallic. So I may just do that. I don't know. To be honest with you, I'll have to see. I'm probably gonna do gold for the halo, or maybe silver. I don't know yet. Because of the backpack ports, I may do gold as well as the skull. So I don't want it to be too much gold. I don't want it to be lost in a sea of gold, so to speak. So I'll have to figure it out. I don't know. But the armor, the main armor color of the parts that are visible are going to be black, because that's how chaplains are. This shoulder pad is going to be green on the inset. This other one probably will be green as well on the inset. I just don't know what to do for the banding. And the halo, I don't know what to do either. It's either going to be gold or silver. I don't know if I should match this. I don't know if I should match the color of the halo to the skull exhaust ports or not. I could try and make them look kind of real skullish, but then it may kind of take away from his skull helmet. A lot of skulls here. But, yeah. That's the model. I think it's very well done. I cannot green stuff for my life, and I'm not good at scratch building either. So, definitely, I would say worth it for me. And, yeah, there's not much more to say about the model itself. I looked at it up close and personal like, because I had it here, to see if maybe there was a stray mold line missing, not because I wanted to critique Ron's work at all, not at all, but just because I leave stray. When I do try and clean up the model, I do miss a spot here or there. But no, it looks great. It's got, he even drilled out the plasma pistol barrel, which is nice. I do that myself, but it's just nice to see it always drilled out as well. Really, this I can't say anything bad about it. Not that I want to, because I paid for it. I like it. My bias there, obvious. You may not like the model. You may not like the way chaplains are. That's completely okay. But as a buyer, you should be happy with the product you're buying or commissioning, and I am. I was throughout all steps of the process. I think he looks superb. I think this is how a chaplain should look like, especially from the Dark Angels, or what a chaplain should look like, especially in the Dark Angels chapter with the robes and everything. Will be a great centerpiece. Definitely will stand out amongst an army of Dark Angels, both being a chaplain, so having black armor as opposed to the green, and because of how he looks. And they'll probably draw more fire because of that, but that's okay. Now have to do is build an army list around having an Interrogator Chaplain HQ, which I will build slightly different from having a Company Master HQ. Probably going to take the Azrael list I'm mulling over in my head. Once I put that to paper and finalize that, I'll probably take that list and modify it a little bit, because it'll be easier for me personally to collect that army type, even though I plan to make a full battle company in the future, but let's not talk about that. Anyways, that ramble aside, this is the Dark Angels Interrogator Chaplain I had commissioned up and converted up. Again, I did not make this model. So feel free to compliment the model if you wish, but I didn't make it, so don't compliment me. I just asked to see if it could be done, and I think it was done very well. So yeah, nothing else to say. I'll leave you with that closing shot of him kind of barreling down on you. And until next time, take it easy.